All right, we're here in my outdoor worm bin, and it has been 10 days since we put that massive frozen feeding in here. 5 days ago, there was lots of worm balls everywhere, but a lot of the food was not totally digested. We put a lot of bedding in on top, so let's kind of get in here. And it has been raining the last couple days. Things are a little bit moist in here, and I've had the flaps opened up, so at first I saw some worms on the top, but they've scurried in. So let's start getting in here. Oh yeah, look at that. They have made good work of this, it looks like. Just tons of worms inside here. Here's a banana peel. Here's some of the bedding. Just some good castings in there. Looking really good. And I'm prepared to feed them if I need to. I brought some food out here, but look at this, just really good castings. I wasn't able to pull out castings just because it was raining right before I came out here, but I treat this as a continuous flow. As you can see, there's a lot of bedding, there's a lot of castings, so I don't have to wait until the whole thing is done and to pull out castings. Now, here is some of the newspaper that we put in here, but again, all the food seems to mostly be digested. Maybe some peels, that kind of thing, but let's keep going. This looks like a mango seed, and probably the mango seed, so let's open it up, and we've got some worms making a bit of a home in there, so that's good. I don't know, it's keeping it moist, I think, is the key, and it is a little moist to getting the shell totally digested, but we'll kind of set that over there. Let's go in deeper here, and it just feels really good. Look at all these worms. Look at all this all over. This is fantastic. Just worms 100% throughout in every direction. So they have really done good work with this. I would say this feeding is mostly gone. This is mostly bedding, newspaper clumped up, paper clumped up, which is kind of why I like to use cardboard. As you can see, this is mostly the paper that we're seeing all bunched up where you don't see worms, but right there is a little baby worm. So cute. And you can see, even when they're young, you can see the little orange on the tail and more pink on the head end. But again, just seeing banana peels. Let's kind of move from the outside in. Whoa! Look at that. Look, just everywhere. Everywhere you go. Not necessarily seeing worm balls, but certainly the parts per billion of worms in here is very high. Again, newspaper matted down. I probably really should have torn that up before I put it in here, but they'll eventually get to it. Again, more. Here's a mango seed that's not quite done with the fibers being eaten off the front of it, or I guess all around it. So I would say they probably have not even gotten inside of it. So all right, again, and what I did last time too, feel some worms on my fingers here. What I did last time was I spread the food. It was all in one mass when we started this thing, and then on the fifth day, I mixed it all around, and we were able to spread it out. And when you spread out the food like that, more opportunities for them to get to it, so it looks like they digest it better. But this is just great. I mean, the consistency, everything of this is just fantastic. And here's some fibrousness, probably from sweet potato maybe, or part of a banana stem, another mango. Here we're starting to get into something. Oh, look at that, cabbage. I bet you this is from the cabbage experiment. Still crunchy. That's definitely gonna freeze any kind of cabbage. I freeze most of my food, but definitely when it comes to cabbage, be freezing that. But again, newspapers, I'll just rip them up here a little bit. They're making little homes in there. That's good. Here we go. This is just, I mean, if you look, I just random fistful here, and just worms all throughout. Right here's a little black soldier fly larvae, if you can see it next to my thumb. But the worms are just hundreds of worms just in this one little section. At least 3,000 in here, although I'll never count them all. Some people have suggested counting these ones individually, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Banana stems are what kind of last, and the peels. but not for long, really not for long. So it's a good thing I brought some food out here because these guys are consuming it, and I want to keep up with them so I can continue to get lots of castings. So I've got more bedding, more food, just making our way all the way around. Look at these castings. They are just so rich and moist and just exactly what you want to look for. And here's a peach seed, another peach seed and another worm bin. So, all right, I think we've been all the way around. So we'll start creating our feeding zone here, and I'll see if I can put some of those things. Look at this banana peel. This is kind of the last of the food source for them. As far as bananas go, they are really all over it. In and out of it, right through there. All kinds of shapes and sizes of worms. That's just remarkable. Right here, there's a worm going in and out of the stem below my thumb. Pretty neat. So again, set up the feeding zone. It's kind of a mess I made here as I was trying to aerate everything. But we'll put all the stuff we can find in the middle. And I really pull these sides down. This is a 20-gallon fabric container that is holding all these worms. So it looks probably shallower than it is. It's probably more like up here when it's got plants in it, that kind of thing. We're gonna start with a bunch more cardboard. Lots of cardboard shreddings. I think the food we have will help get it moist, but I will put water in again if we need to. I've got some rainwater. So here was the plan if we needed to add food. So we'll go with that, some apple cores and strawberries. And I probably didn't bring out enough based on how much they've eaten so far. This is a mango seed. I expect to find all kinds of worms inside there. Some apples, and I've got 3 bins. If you want to see how I manage each of the bins, you can subscribe and look at the playlists. And they go from start to finish castings, and this one too, from the get-go, is pretty interesting how, you know, you can start with a bin and the numbers increase, and then you can treat this as a continuous flow. Let me put a little bit more paper or cardboard on there. I keep saying paper, but mostly cardboard. But yeah, you can treat this as a continuous flow and get castings from it whenever you need them, as long as you keep putting a lot of bedding and keep putting a lot of food, because you don't want them to just be surrounded by their castings. They will continue to eat their castings, but you know what? I forgot the coffee and the and the grit, but we're not past the point of no return. Let's do that. There we go. I'm gonna give them a lot of coffee because I'm starting to collect too much. And then the grit. There we go. But anyway, yeah, you can use this as continuous flow bin. The first 4 months when you first start is going to be it collecting castings and kind of getting all the microbes and growing the worm population. But after that, you just take a few castings out and kind of monitor how much you feed and how much you put bedding in. You can treat this as a continuous flow where you're constantly getting castings. You don't have to wait, store, and that kind of thing. But yeah, the worms will continue to eat their, oh, there's that banana peel again. But the worms will continue to reconsume their castings up to the point where it can get toxic for them, so you don't want that. But you know, no need to worry about having some castings in there along with the worms as you treat it as a continuous flow. But that is just so amazing, so neat, so cool. I'll just kind of cover them up like that. But I think that will about do it for this check-in. And I think 10 days. 10 days is the magic number for just an absolutely massive feeding. It didn't smell like food was rotting or anything like that. It just smelled like earth and a good worm bin. And there's some more worms that I keep grabbing from the side. But I don't know, 10 days. I think AV had mentioned something about that. About 10 days is what he saw when he gave a massive feeding. So that's about right. 10 days is the number. So hope everybody's having a great day, and happy vermicomposting, everybody. Take care now.